Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. This is John from Flippin' Ain't Easy. And as promised, we're having our live stream today. One moment here. We are going to wait for some people to show up into the live stream. The plan is to do this for about an hour. And if there's enough content or questions, it might be shorter than that. We might go a little longer depending, but at the end of the live stream, I have a video that I'm going to play that's going to show the winners of our 10,000 subscriber contest. And we gave out 5 eBay prizes and we gave out one $100 gift card. And so that will be pretty cool. For those of you who are watching with us, we have about 15 in the that are watching that I see right now. Welcome to the channel. Please do put your comments and questions in the live chat so that we can continue to have a long conversation about eBay. For those of you who are watching right now, you can certainly support the channel with super sticker or super chat if you like. That does help the channel. I just picked up it's a DJI OM5 gimbal. This thing is pretty cool. So it's going to allow me to make some pretty cool videos and content for you guys. And it's a new toy. I like the new shiny gadgets, but the little bit I make from YouTube, I like to reinvest it into the quality of the channel when I can, and hopefully that will allow me to do that. So certainly thank you for being here. That in itself supports the channel. Your comments and questions, hitting the like button helps support the channel as well. So please be sure to do that. For those of you who are watching later on after the fact, too bad you couldn't make the live, but maybe next time. But that doesn't mean you can't interact with this video. Certainly comment down below, and any questions, or maybe you have an answer to a question. Someone might need that assistance. I don't have all the answers. I'm just like most of you. I do this for a living, but I'm finding out things and I'm trying to figure out things all the time when it comes to eBay and all the reselling ins and outs and sourcing and all that. So I try to share with you guys what I know, what I think I know, and it's not always accurate, but I do the best that I can. It's coming from a genuine place. So I want to say hi to Kevin Hawthorne. He's from out here from Lakeland, Florida. It should be afternoon where you're at. We have the Monster Loon. How you doing? My lovely wife Jenna's in the house. We have Nancy Thomas. Hello. Keena. Hi, Keena. How you doing? We have Ellen. I don't want to butcher your name. Zweifatch in New York City, and it's snowing, huh? That storm's hit you guys. It's supposed to be one of the worst blizzards you've had in a little while. So hopefully you guys are staying safe. We have Richard Howard. I picked up a pair of Coach New York men's wingtip brown boots, and I can't find any comps on it. What do you suggest? Well, if there's no comps on it, then you're going to have to do one of two things. You're going to have to figure out, first of all, it's important to know what you're into it for. You have that information. So what are you comfortable getting for that pair of shoes or boots in this case? Is it double, triple your money? You may want to put them up on auction, but there's not enough demand. It may not do very well. I would start off with what you're comfortable making. Look for a comparable model, maybe of the same brand boots, to see what they're going for. Also, like for instance, most things that you buy on or you could sell on eBay, you can buy on Amazon. So try other locations to find what the actual retail MSRP value is. And if there's no other boots like that to sell, you can kind of get your price as close to that MSRP as you can. You can always go down in price. You know, it's one of those things where you really can't go up, because if you have watchers on it, that's certainly going to turn them away if you up your price. So those are just some ideas. But you guys, like I said, I don't have all the answers. Maybe some of you guys out there sell shoes and boots and all that stuff. Help them out. Put a comment in the chat, or if you're watching this after the fact, put a comment down below. We have Ed, the reselling writer. Hey, John, congrats on 10K. Now let's get you to 20K and get you that silver play button. Those are goals. I don't know how realistic that is. You know, I'm going to do my best. I'm working hard on the YouTube front to give you guys content. But I just want to make sure it's stuff that you guys are going to enjoy. I just don't like putting out content for the sake of content. And I'm going to keep working hard. That's all I can do. And my goal for this year is 20 to 25,000. But I always give myself lofty goals. I did not hit the goal that I set for myself last year. It was a little bit of a disappointment, but you know what? It's on me. If I'm not giving you guys the content you're going to want to watch, you're going to go somewhere else. So thank you for that encouragement, and I definitely will work hard for that. We have Hanging with Kelly and Debbie. Congrats on 10K. You love your channel. Sorry I got here late. Well, thank you for being here, for one. To me, you know, I set a time randomly. You guys change your lives and take time out of your day to watch me. So thank you for doing that. So there really is no definition of late. Even if you're watching this after the fact, hey, my bad for making this live at a time you couldn't watch it. So sorry. Next time we'll try to make that work out. The hand dryer from the latest unboxing video is incredible. Yeah, it's a nice item. It's a niche kind of item. So, you know, only maybe a business or some place that needs an ADA wall mounted, hardwired hand dryer is going to want it. And, you know, I think I have it up for about $200. You know, I'm trying to keep my pricing competitive. It looks brand new. So that definitely made the lot. That's for sure. If you guys haven't watched the series, this last set of unboxings was pretty good. We had 20 boxes of Amazon liquidation customer returns that we had no idea what we're going to get. And based on the lot we had before, I wasn't all that optimistic, but we actually had quite a few things. The last item in the last video, it's that aquarium chiller. It's what it was. It's has a digital display on it, and it worked as you saw in the video. But it has like I guess it just controls the temperature of the water. You can set that, and it hooks up to a pump, and that goes to an aquarium. That one I just listed it about an hour ago for $90. It normally sells for $200 new, but you guys saw how beat up it looked. I sold it $89.99, actually $75 best offer, and let's hope it works for him. It just, you know, I have no way of fully testing it, so I had to make that clear in the listing. And what was cool about it, I'm not sure if they had a chance to see it, I did post a video, and I want you guys to know that I found out that with this new video option that eBay is going to introduce to all of us, you're going to have an approximate 50 second video that you can post for your item. Now, I was recording my clips in I believe 1080p. So if you're using a much lower resolution, you might be able to get more time than that. But the file size is 100 megabytes. So just something for you guys to keep in mind. You can, of course, it will allow you to utilize audio, so you can talk about your item to your customer. I think that's important because, you know, if there's any flaws or anything that you may have noticed about the item, it's now we're not relying on them to read, which we know half of the customers don't read. We're now asking them to listen. Now, I'm not much more optimistic than them reading it when it comes to listening to something, but at least we can say that we did our due diligence to try to get them to know that there's an issue, or here's something we want you to know about this item. So yeah, that was an awesome item. And, you know, you never know with liquidation what you're going to get. Gail Carlson's in the house. Mikhail Johnson, flipping ain't easy. My boy, I've been watching since day one. Well, thank you. I hope if you've seen the first video, you know it wasn't all that great. And there has been some videos in there that weren't really good either. But you know what? We're learning as we go. I'm willing to bet that what we're doing right now is going to be nothing compared to what you see next year. With little gadgets like this, I was just watching this thing. This is pretty awesome. I had this set on my desk, right, with my phone, and this thing will follow me around the room. It's pretty cool. So if I would have had that at the unboxings, no slight to my wife Jenna, she did a great job, I think, with those videos. But this thing would have been really smooth and would have freed her up to do whatever she wanted to do. So things like this, I invest into the channel to give you guys as good content as I can. And of course, this is not only my channel, it's yours. Please give me any suggestions that you have as well. We have Justin Ashley from South Carolina. How you doing? We have Wanda Greer. Howdy from North Carolina. Hopefully that storm's not hitting you guys in South Carolina and North Carolina. We have Justin Ashley. We got 1 inch of snow and the state shut down. Panic mode. Well, I know one thing out here in the West, if we got half an inch of snow, we probably would freak out. Let's see. Ed says also research other marketplaces, not just eBay. I sell 90% shoes and don't sell just on eBay. So yeah, check out your Poshmarks. There might be a comp on Poshmark for those boots, and that certainly helps. Felix says I up my prices all the time. Don't give a damn about watchers. Well, yeah, I mean, up your prices, but the fact is, if someone's looking for you or waiting for you to lower the price on that item and you up that price, you may never get their business. So if it works for you, keep doing what you do. Nancy Thomas, I'm in Western North Carolina. We had 8 inches of snow. That's awesome. We get snow out here in Vegas so seldomly. And when it happens, it's like, wow, it's awesome. So I can't imagine having 8 inches of snow. Richard Howard says I played 25, but there are other shoes he paid 25 and their other shoes are between 250 and 300. So you can certainly, try the higher amount. I mean, I would go high and then set your prices down if you need to. You never know. Like I said, I didn't think I was going to sell that aquarium water cooler in such bad shape as you saw in the video, and someone jumped on it, and I guess I priced it too low. So if I would have priced it at maybe 125, maybe they would have sent an offer for 100. So and I'm fine to get rid of it. I definitely made money off of that, but start to where you could at least make. Try 150 if you're happy with making 5 times your money, 6 times your money. Want to give a thanks to Gail Carlson for her super chat. I certainly appreciate that. It certainly helps the channel. Thank you very much. But guys, do me a favor, hit that like button. That's just as important. It does help the YouTube algorithm, and these days that's what we're working with is the algorithm. But thank you, Gail. It's certainly from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate that. And I'm trying to find some questions here. But before I do, I just want to talk to you guys about slow sales. I don't know how you guys are doing with your sales. I'm noticing that my sales are down quite a bit. I'm seeing that probably about 25 to 30% lower in sales than let's say this time last year, at least according to eBay, as this time last month. But last month, heck, we were dealing with after Christmas sales, and so we're not really comparing much to fourth quarter. Things aren't going so well, at least from what I've seen, and I've actually read some forums where people have had no sales. And to me, it's just this algorithm that eBay has, and trying to figure it out. I don't think there's anyone out there that's been able to figure it out. If we have an idea of what works and what doesn't, but I haven't come across anyone that really knows exactly how this thing is set up. I mean, I was thinking about it. I was working all day yesterday in the garage, testing and photos and all that. And then I was actually creating drafts. Then I would come in here in the evening and launch those drafts after fixing the photos and all that. And it wasn't until I started doing that, launching listings, that I started getting sales. So it makes me wonder, and it makes perfect sense. As you're feeding eBay, eBay will feed you the sales. Now, not necessarily the sales, but the traffic, because again, they can't force someone to click and buy your item, but they can promote your listing by putting it higher in search. And the more eyes on your item that you have, the better chance you're going to sell that item. So just something to think about. But I really think eBay has really created an algorithm that's constantly evolving, and I wouldn't doubt if there's some AI in that, where it's constantly evolving and watching your behaviors and that sort of thing. So just something to talk about. Your thoughts put down below. This whole channel is really purposed for bouncing ideas off of each other. I'm not going to come out here and say this is exactly how the algorithm is, because I guess some of you would believe it, but that's not the purpose of this program. We also have another super chat, I think. Yes, Kina. Thank you, Kina. Yeah, and being straight with you guys is I mean, you guys would see, it's half of you guys would see through it, and I'm not going to tell you how great things are when they're not. Things right now, I got to tell you, sales wise, it's not going so great. Even on the Amazon front, I have items that are cross posted on Amazon as well, and it's kind of hit and miss there. Put your comments in the chat or down below if you're watching this later on. Let me know how your sales are. I did that post about 2-3 weeks ago, and over 50-something% of you said that your sales were slower. So it's not just me, not just my imagination. And if you have great items that you've sourced, that's sort of recession proof, in my opinion, because those items are going to sell if you have a good price and a good item. But if you have, some of the things that I've been pulling out of these boxes, it may take a while to sell, and it's just taken longer now, I think, than last year. We have Josh Howe. Hey, boss, congrats, 10K. Enjoy the good weather while you can. Winter's around the corner. Yep. Well, we're here in winter, but for us, it's just going to get warmer. I think the month of December and January for us is really where it gets cold, around freezing. And that's cold for us. That's not cold for some of you guys out there, but for us, that's pretty cold. But it starts to warm up. This is probably the best time of year to be in Vegas. BXX32, I found sometimes that I get multiple watchers. I raise the price and then the item sells. Thought process is they want to get it before it goes up again. Well, okay. That works. For me, the price is probably too high. That's why, I would go and lower it, but certainly if it works for you. And Febraro, happy Saturday, everyone. Hopefully you guys are taking some time off. We're going to do a little road trip tomorrow to Death Valley. It's about 2 hours away from here. And this is the perfect time of year to go out there. I hear it's beautiful. I mean, it's desert. I take my little toy, maybe cut some videos for you guys, and maybe put it in a video. And it'll be eBay related. It'll just have a little nicer backdrop. Kyle B, I feel like 10K into 50K will be easier than 0 into 10K. Congrats again. Now I always, once in a while I'll do my hair, and I keep it short, so every couple weeks I'll trim it or whatever. But the hat is just my lazy way of getting in front of the camera without doing all this stuff. But I wanted to present myself a little bit because it's a 10K show, and I'm wanted to give some prizes out to you guys. So I have, in fact, what I'm doing right now as we speak is I'm trying to convert this video so that I can play it for you at the end that shows the winners. I'd hate to read out the winners for you. And hold on real quick. Okay, that's downloading. So I hate to, sorry about that, I'm having technical difficulties here. I'd hate to have to read them out. It just doesn't seem all that special. I'd like to be able to play this video. So if I can do that, and I'm not sure if this thing's going to allow me. I'd use the converter. It doesn't like the format that I had used for the video, so it wants me to have it into MP4 format. and I'm just not sure that I'm going to be able to pull it off and talk to you guys at the same time. So I may have to just read them off. So I apologize for that, but we'll try. Let's see here. Jenna says, start high and lower as necessary. That's what I do. But, don't start too low. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Start higher and, if it sits for a week or two and you need to move it, then start lowering your price if you need to. Dan Frisco, flipping it easy. eBay purchase international Canada last mile delivery through USPS carrier delivered to wrong mailbox. USPS wants me to ask sender for refund. Replacement scan shows delivered. Okay, so you bought something from Canada. Well, it's the seller's responsibility. Unfortunately, if it shows delivered though, then that's a different story. Jonathan. Oops, I got a phone call coming in. My son's calling me. So he knows that I'm on a live stream, so I don't know why he's calling me. But nonetheless, Jenna, if you can text him for me and let him know I'm on a live stream if you need something. I would say, as far as this is concerned, that USPS, they want to show a delivery scan, and if it shows delivered, then that's a problem. I had someone that I shipped an item to, and it showed delivered. I think I talked to you guys about that before, and it could have been delivered, and maybe it was just, we have porch pirates. It could have been stolen, that type of thing. But definitely work with the seller and see what they're willing to do. If they have another one, they might be willing to send it out to you. But of course, as a buyer, you always have that chargeback option, which I hate talking about because it hurts sellers, but that is an option. Josh Howe, on the eBay deleting items deal, would they be starting to delete the items that do not have the required items filled out? That's actually a good point, because they did mention that if you didn't have your requested items, or actually the required item specifics filled out, that they may be getting rid of them. But again, we talk about this all the time with what the things that eBay does. How about give us a heads up? How about say, look, guys, in 2 weeks, give us a message that's going to pop out, and maybe put it on our seller summary screen. You have 2 weeks. You have until the end of January, and if you don't have your required item specifics updated for every listing, those listings are going to disappear. But to not say anything, that just doesn't seem right to me. We have Dr. Mario in the house. Hello, Flipping Ain't Easy from Arizona. We have Jan Purcell. Hello from Florida, sunny Florida, hopefully. Overall, have you purchased more manifested or unmanifested pallets, and which had the better ROI? For me, lately, it's been more unmanifested, and you get a better bang for your buck. But you only want to do that if you have experience with that seller. So maybe that liquidator, they have a lot that's not very expensive. Buy it, see if it turns out to be something that's going to be profitable. And if it is, then you can maybe make more purchases. I've been burned so many times from unmanifested pallets, and it's going to happen in this business. But once you find that liquidator or two that you can trust based on past purchases, then it makes it easier. Of course, I've been burned on manifested pallets. You buy manifested pallets. I think I talked about it before. I bought through direct liquidation back in 2019. The top 6 items, actually 7 items, value-wise, were not even there. And we're talking probably about $3,000 in value. They only gave me like $150, $200 credit for the next pallet. That just didn't sit well with me. So again, it's about trust, building trust. You can buy manifested or non-manifested pallets with confidence once you find that liquidator that will take care of you. Wanda says the storm hit here lightly. We're okay in this area. Thanks for asking. We're in the I-95 corridor near Virginia. Well, thank goodness it didn't hit you. There's some people that are getting hit pretty bad. Let's see here real quick if I can find some questions. Here's Ed, the reselling writer. Do you think all the recent storms are affecting sales? I've been getting sales, but not on eBay. Been getting a lot on Poshmark. It may, but to me, that would, if someone's planning on going out to buying that pair of shoes, they can't get out or they don't want to be out in the storm. They might think, hey, let's just order it online and, get it that way. So I don't know. I think it's definitely going to have an effect on shipping times and a seller's ability to get that item in the mail. But I think it's kind of the opposite, sort of like the pandemic, how more people bought from us when they stayed home. Felix says, yep, sales are down big time. I've sold one item in 3 days. On a good note, I've had 2 sales in the past 2 days on Bonanza, and you might be the top salesperson on Bonanza if you've sold 2 items in 2 days. I hear Bonanza is just dead, usually is dead. It's not somewhere I'd put my merchandise, but hey, if it works for you, if that's a couple extra sales that you have because you've done that, hey, good for you. I'm glad it's working out. Gail Carlson, mine are slow too, but I deal only in pinball machine merchandise. That's interesting. Are we talking parts, that sort of thing? I'd be curious to know what you're selling. Also, Poshmark has an electronic category now. You might do well there for the under 5-pound items. So I do have, actually, we are ambassadors on Poshmark. We've actually sold quite a bit years ago. Not so much anymore. So something to check out. I do know that with the clothing, you get a little bit more on Poshmark than eBay, but I'm not so sure that would be the case with electronics. Dan Frisco, my impressions jumped the past 2 days, means eBay is screwing with the back end. And that's correct. I'm up 10.2% on impressions right now. But yet the sales are slow. So I'm not sure what that means, but I think that's kind of happening to a lot of us. Josh Howe says we have slow sales, been looking for good platforms to sell on. You're under $20 items, you can try Mercari. I just think that if you're trying to list your larger ticket items on Mercari, you're going to get lowballed even worse on Mercari than eBay. Best to diversify to other sites based on product sales. eBay is not going to be the answer for everyone, and it's not. If you're selling clothing and you're not on Poshmark, you're doing yourself a disservice because you're losing out opportunities. Ricardo eBay sales have been okay this month, just 5% below the January 2021 numbers. It appears that buyers are watching their finances, and they are. And I think that people are having a harder time financially right now. There's a report on, I think, MSNBC or whatever, that was saying something to the effect of the jobs that are out there. I mean, the jobs reports that are coming out are just showing the jobs that were lost back in the pandemic. There's really no new job creation. And that's a big problem. And when the economy's slow, retail, brick and mortar retail, and online retail is going to be slow. And that's all of us. Tommy Bernhard podcast. Your store has internal scoring based on a plethora of metrics, titles, and promoted listings. Every single person that complains about slow sales caps promoted listings or has no plan of attack. When you say plan of attack, my plan of attack is this. I'm constantly looking for new products to buy and resell. I'm one person. I don't have a bunch of employees that work with me or for me, and it's just myself. Jenna does her own store, and you can only do so much during that time. So I'm limited in just the fact that I'm a one-person show on this store. So when you say plan of attack, I don't really have a purchasing plan. I buy when I see good deals, and that means I might be 2, 3, 4 pallets deep. That might mean that I'm down to my last pallet before I really need to get something. Also, sourcing has been very difficult. I'm hopeful that a lot of your Christmas returns, because I rely a lot on return merchandise, a lot of those Christmas returns come in here pretty soon. So maybe I'm not prepared as much as I need to be. So that's a good point. Josh Howe, putting tested or fully tested on the title does seem to help a little bit. Been putting pics on listings of what items look like after cleaned up and ready to be placed in a box. So yeah, I agree with that. And, it is against eBay's terms of service, but you know what? I have not been called on it. In fact, I even had a listing where I needed to talk to a eBay rep about that I will be making a video about probably this week. And they didn't say a thing about the fact that I had for parts or repair only on the main photo. Tommy Bernhardt says, my sales are better than ever. Have to source good items and learn how eBay actually works. So that's the $25,000 question, Tommy. Share with us. Tell us. I'll be willing to tell everyone. What video you've put out that can give us those answers. Because I guess that's what it is. If you figured it out, and if you figured it out, let us know. Because I definitely want to know. I'm always trying to learn, and I'm not above saying that I don't know. And in this case, I don't know it all. So I'd love to know. Slow sales creates wondering thoughts. Am I being punished for not completing my ad? Recommend my item specifics. Fill this out to the best of my ability and leave the non-applicable blank. And I've had a lot of people ask me, is eBay punishing me? I think that's not even the case. eBay doesn't care who the item sells. If they have, you making a ton of sales and the next guy making a ton of sales, that's more money they're going to make. I think their interest is into getting you to sell your items as quickly as possible and for as much as possible. But all they can do is lead the customer to your listing, and they can't force them to hit that buy it now button. So what can you do better to get your item in front of more eyes? And once it's there, because eBay gave me 10% more impressions, but I still haven't, I made less sales. So what do I need to do better to convert those extra 10% impressions so that it's now a sale? And, if my customer's looking for something and I'm one of their impressions and I'm not getting that sale, chances are someone else is. So how are you going to make your listing stand out from your competitor? That's the question. So we deal in media, book sales, and have increased recently. Of course, some are textbooks, but not all of them. People staying inside during the cold weather, maybe. We have good morning, John. Sunday here in Australia. How you doing, Aussie Hustler? Ricardo I says, overall, what was your impression of your last liquidation lot? The tortillas were plentiful. For you guys who don't know, tortillas are the bras that you get in some of these liquidation lots. And for a backstory, you can go check out the videos as to why I call them that. But I would say it was about a B minus ish. And again, it may be because I'm comparing these lots to what I got last year. That Sony lens that I found, that was a $1,200 lens. We're talking a 12.9 inch iPad that just had a crack in the screen, still sold for $700. It was, I guess they received it maybe damaged and sent it back to Amazon, but it was like, aside from the crack from shipping, it was new. Now they pick that stuff. I think that's what's happening with a lot of these liquidation lots. So, you know what? That might be the best of what we're going to get, with those type of lots if they're being picked through. But that's sort of the norm now. Winter Crow is late, but it's as long as you're here, that's all that matters. Micavelli from California, how you doing? Getting taxed to death out there, I see. Sherry Doherty, thank you for the $5 super sticker. Thank you so much. I certainly appreciate that. Certainly do. Josh Howe, on the eBay app in the selling section, the do show how many items do not have the required items filled out. I've got emails to fill them out and get ahead of everything. So I don't have any issues with that. I've made it a point, and maybe that's why it takes me a little longer to get my listings done. I utilize the Amazon information that I have for a lot of these items, and I fill out my item specifics. And if I don't know or if it doesn't apply, I put NA, but I keep my summary clean to where I don't have anything popped up there for item specifics, and maybe and even the recommended item specifics. And maybe that's one thing I need to knock off. It's just maybe the little OCD that I have that in my mind, it's like I want to have a complete listing, and I don't want that hovering over, over my head there, that eBay is expecting me to fill out those item specifics when I probably don't have to. Gail Carlson says, I have 2 listings. They keep telling me I have unauthorized contact info there. There is nothing there. So definitely reach out to eBay for business on that. If anyone has seen that before, of course, if you can answer her question or comment down below, that certainly would help. Winter Crow says, I'm willing to bet most listings do not have the recommended specifics. I know many of mine do, and so for no deletions, and you can get sales without them. I'm not saying you have to have your item specifics completed. It's just what I do, and maybe it's a leak in my game where I need to maybe just knock it off and just put the very basics in there and move on to the next listing. Ed says, I definitely have my required listings done. Recommend I do once in a while, but not all the time. And let's see. How do I get rid of the notices that Gail is dealing with? Again, if you guys have the answer, that's a good question. Are you listing through eBay or through a third-party lister like InkFrog or something like that? I've never seen anything like that, so I don't have the answer. But check with eBay for business, cite those listings specifically, and hopefully they can give you an answer. It may take a few days, but hopefully they can give you an answer on that. Winter Crow is in New Jersey, and they have about 10 inches of snow. Wow. Get those shovels out. That's for sure. Nancy Thomas, some of the item specifics has nothing to do with the item. And you're right. Sometimes when that happens, I piggyback off of previously sold listings. And sometimes I've noticed that those listings are in the wrong category. So then you go in, you change the category to the right category, and it wipes out all the information that was there before. Felix says, Bonanza is no work at all. It's completely synced with eBay. You don't have to touch it. So there you go. The only problem is, and if you have an idea of the program that you can use that'll manage your inventory. So you sell an item on Bonanza, right? We want to find something that's going to remove that item from your inventory on eBay. I do know they're out there, but they can get kind of high. And I don't think your listers like List Perfectly do that in real time. So please let me know if you have anything like that you're using. That certainly is a problem, because if you're out and about, let's say you're not even looking at your phone, you might run into a situation where you sell that item twice on different platforms. Keena says, do you have videos you can refer me to with liquidator recommendations? So there's a site that I just learned about. So I will help you out right now. I can pull it up and make sure this is the one. It's called liquidationmap.com. So it's all one word, liquidationmap.com. And in the US, it'll show you a map, and you just basically zoom on in, find your area, and there should be some liquidators that you can reach out to that are in your area. I mean, unless you're in the middle of, looks like Colorado doesn't have much at all, but unless you're in the middle of Colorado, you're going to have something very close to your area. And that's a starting point, right? Because for me, it's better to go pick up your stuff than to have it shipped to you, because that's a lot of money. Freight is a lot more than it used to be as well, with the cost of gas being so high. Kyle B, can you cancel an order because the buyer has a review you don't like and a lack of reviews? No, you really can't. And there could be good reasons for the fact that there's the buyer left those reviews. I do consider that sometimes when we're dealing with the best offer. Someone, sends me an offer on an item that it's lukewarm. I want to move it, but at the same time, who am I dealing with? Am I dealing with someone that's going to be difficult? I do consider those things. On Mercari, you won't get lowballed as much as eBay or Poshmark. I agree with that. And thank you, Ed, for that super chat. Hit the like button, and I appreciate it. Definitely. All YouTubers can say that's the one thing we want. The super chats are nice, but it's the hitting that like button that does help. We have 77 people that are watching right now. Hopefully this information is useful to you. Some of the questions that are being asked and answered, not just by me, but by the folks that are in chat. And if you can participate, that also helps as well. Kinetics says, speaking of Bonanza, just this second, I made a sale. Awesome. Well, it's something to consider. Maybe there's a lot of people that have been selling on eBay that are moving over to Bonanza, because the more sellers, the more traffic, that's where you want to go. I still haven't found anything that's going to replace eBay yet. Hopefully there's a site that's created that's going to produce the kind of traffic that we're used to seeing. But right now eBay's trying to tell us I'm up 10% on my impressions, but I have a lot less sales. FJ Treasure says, what's up, everyone? How you doing? Tommy says 9 out of every 20 search results are reserved for promoted. Promoted are on a bid system. Ask everyone that has slow sales what they promote. It becomes clear. So if you're talking about the Promoted Listings Express, I have used that on a couple of larger ticket items, a couple $300 juicers that I sold. And within a couple weeks they did sell. I just can't see doing that for an entire store. To me, it's a money grab. There's a lot of us out there who barely use the promoted listings. I do 1% on promoted listings, the standard promoting listings, but these other ones, like Promoted Listings Express and all these other ones, someone's got to show me a video with definitive proof on how much better the sales are with these new promoted listing features as compared to before. It is a money grab, and I'm sure that eBay has it skewed to those who are willing to spend more money. And sorry you have to hear this for the millionth time. So I'd like to check out, and I'll scour your channel to see what other information, because I want to learn. I definitely do. Go check out Tommy's podcast. It sounds like he has a lot of good information to share with you guys, and I'm interested in listening to it as well. No one figures out eBay with all the changes they implement. It's constant changes. Yeah, and like I said, I wouldn't doubt if there's some AI involved in the whole Cassini algorithm. Let's see. We have Jason Neal. I can't shop on eBay and shovel snow at the same time. Calm down. I'll be shopping soon. Yeah, we need your business. So get out there and buy some of my items. Ravonda Smith. I've been on eBay selling, but just upgraded to a second level store. Are my sales going to pick up? I would like to think that eBay does consider in the algorithm that you have a store versus not having a store. I mean, that's just my thoughts on it. I might be entirely wrong. But consistency is what you want to be focusing on. And Tommy says absolutely nothing to do with sales. So, it's hard to say. I'd like to think that they do. Of course, you have the option to market your items through sales that you can set through your marketing manager. You can also do that public coupon I tell you guys about. Without a store, you don't have the ability to do that. eBay said your sales will pick up. Well, and that may be if you're utilizing some of the features that I talked about as well. Ed, the reselling writer, that's why I fill in the recommended, because it bugs me when they aren't filled in. I don't know if it helps, and that's kind of where I'm at. Maybe I need to knock it off. Maybe I can utilize my time better and just get those listings up there, and let it be what it is. If the item's not selling, maybe I can go back in and add the item specifics. But I can tell you one thing: if I have pallets of stuff in my garage, it ain't selling to nobody. I don't care how good of an item it is. Wanda says NA does not work in all specific fields. It should as not all specifics apply. Yeah, and I've noticed that some categories are set up differently. Some categories have just a new and used. Some have 5 different conditions. Some require you to fill out the exact value. They won't accept NA, and it should be universal, regardless of the category, as far as I'm concerned. Dr. Mario, just keep listing and researching items and use TerraPeak for trending prices. Tommy Bernhardt says if it's not something the customer will search or filter, recommended are a waste of time. I agree with that. The Monster Loon, I will sometimes go through listings and try to add recommended specifics just to create activity on my account. And, you can do that refresh that people talk about. You go in, you select all your listings for a bulk edit, change nothing, and launch. A lot of people swear by that. Do not use @ or .com in your title. I agree with that as well. Dan Frisco, had my item specifics updated by late November. Not much of a change in sales. In fact, December was my worst December in total sales for the past 4 years. And I got to tell you, as far as my sales in December are concerned, it certainly wasn't very good compared to the previous 2 years. Bonanza and Truegether remove them. So Bonanza removes them, but what about if you sell an item on Bonanza and you have that same item on eBay? What removes that? Is Truegether a listing tool, or is that just another site altogether? Bonanza removes sold listings on eBay automatically. Okay. That's interesting. Problem is you just don't have the traffic that, I guess if you sell a couple items there in a year, that it's more than you'll sell if you didn't have it listed. And if it doesn't take you a whole lot of time to cross list, then that's definitely an option that you should look into. Ed, the reselling writer, says, I use List Perfectly, and you're right, it doesn't do it in real time. And I did a video of the dangers of cross posting. You just don't have to be attentive to act quick, highly doable. And check out Ed's channel after you're done with this live stream. He's been putting out some videos. I like to promote smaller channels when I can, because we all started off as a small channel. Let's see. Felix says Bonanza is completely cinched to eBay. You sell an item on eBay, it automatically delists it from Bonanza and vice versa. So that's definitely something I didn't know. So thanks for sharing that. On average, what are sales like with Bonanza for those who use that site? Quantity of sales per month. So if you can answer that either in the chat or if you're watching this after the fact, please let us know. For every 10 sales you get on eBay, how many would you say you get on Bonanza? That's a good question. One thing to do with help sales is to be fair on your shipping. Selling a $3 item with a $30 shipping cost, people notice some higher priced items that sell before others, the shipping is too high. I agree with that. It's better to just, at that point, if it's going to cost you $30 to ship the item, it's best to just combine the shipping. I usually don't like to do free shipping, but if your cost or your sale price is that low, it just looks ridiculous as far as I'm concerned. Kyle B says, everyone hit the like button. Douglas Kent, promoted listings has never gotten me a single sale. Waste of money when you sell things that aren't common. Rare books like me, waste. Oops, that's a private conversation going on in the chat. Ed, the reselling writer, says promoted, advanced, and I'm sure express is just a waste of money. I use regular promoted listings, and that's how I get a majority of my sales. Some would beg to differ. It's from what I'm gathering with what Tommy's saying, that if you utilize the promoted listing features a little bit more, it might help. So I'm curious as to checking that out. Dan Frisco says, for me, some amount of sales with or without promoted, remove promoted, sales continued on the same average, promoted never increased my sales average, just increased impressions. And I guess I could say the same thing. I did increase my promoted listings from 1% to the recommended, and I did get a few more sales, and it kind of just dropped off, and I didn't see a whole lot more than I was getting before. Hometown Flip says, we've been selling on eBay for 1 year. and our sales are up month over month. And that's probably because you're growing your store. Of course, if you have 1,000 items in your store, naturally you're going to sell more than someone with 400 or 500. Regular promoted are perfect for flea market style stores. Monster Loon, I hate eBay's new business policy format. Hard to find where to calculate shipping or even put in a shipping amount. Yeah, it's there. It's just laid out differently. Point per click is for people with loads of replenishable items. And that's also another sourcing key. Finding that source where you can continually get high demand or above average higher demand items that are replenishable. It's definitely a challenge that I'm dealing with right now as well. Experimented with promoted versus unpromoted, no difference in just the money grab. And it feels that way. I guess for some that are having success with it, it's definitely not. And what promoted percentage have you tried? And Winter Crow says 5%. So that's pretty interesting because I only do 1.1. And when I upped it to the recommended, like I said, I didn't keep it there because I wasn't seeing a big difference. The little unique shop says, does promoted at a percent really work? And I guess that's the question we're trying to figure out here. Felix Soto, with Bonanza, you don't cross list anything. It's completely synced. You just list something on eBay and automatically gets listed on Bonanza and vice versa. Wanda Greer, 15 years ago, having a store was promised higher sales due to higher search results. Not anymore. Sales seem to be determined more so by how many items one is listed. 1,000 available minimum seems to help. And I really think that there's something in the algorithm that does give you a boost in sales the more items you have. It's like, eBay's looking at how many items you're feeding the eBay beast, and it tells them how many items or how many customers they can give you as well. That's just a theory that I have, something that as I'm going to try to grow my store more this year. I think that's what I'm going to focus on, that I really haven't been so much focused on last year, and we'll see what that does. Joe Toledo 419 says promoted absolutely helps. And I agree. Promoted versus not promoted, I think there's a big difference. That's why a lot of my items are going to show up as promoted. But I think it's just the amount that I'm kind of wondering. I did a video about this subject about 6 months ago, and I went in and promoted my listing with recommended. And then about 5 minutes later, I went back in to revise the item, and it changed the recommended promoted listing amount. It didn't make sense to me. It was almost like eBay was throwing that number out there, and it didn't seem like there was any math or any kind of logic attached to it. So I don't know if you guys have noticed that as well, but it definitely happened to me on multiple listings, and I demonstrated that on that video that I'm referring to. Don't promote rare, hard to find items, which I agree with. If they're looking for that one of a kind item, it's going to pop up in search whether you have it promoted or not. So it's just a waste. Does anyone notice a trend where sales tend to pick up in the spring? They do. They do tend to do well in the spring for most items, and then tail off sometime June through, I'd say, August. And Tommy Bernard says, I have 565 items, around 12 million impressions last 31 days, 800 sold, mostly shoes. And that's a very good ratio. I think mine's about 450 with about 600 items sold in the last 90 days. And so that's definitely where you want to have that kind of a turnover within. Now, the 800 sold, you said 31 days. So that's actually even better than what eBay shows me on the standard summary. Shanna Anhalt says, just started. I have 10 items so far, no sales, and just keep listing. Be consistent with your listing habits. Try to list every day if you can, and that definitely does help. Item specifics, all the BS tells you to do doesn't matter. You have to do a long tail seller. You have to wait for the right buyer. And definitely, there's a lot of items that I have up there that have been sitting waiting for that right buyer. That's for sure. Um, we'll just had an eBay sale, small item, but it is a sale. I don't sing, and I'm not going to sing either. I had something pop up, but it was a message from a buyer, so it wasn't a sale. But if I get a sale on my live stream, I'm not going to start singing, because that'll turn about, there's 82 watching right now. It'll turn into maybe 2. 1% or bust. So I mean, that's what I've been using, and I'm willing to move my percentage if I can, but it has to make sense if it's going to produce more sales. Maybe I'll do that experiment again. It's not that the shipping is that high. Okay, so we're talking about that $3 item with a $30 shipping. It's not that the shipping is that high. They use $3 to be the cheapest in search, but have a high price shipping cost. And it's what people used to do to get around the eBay fees many years ago. They'd set it at $3 with a $30 shipping. And what the customer says is, in their mind, well, that item's not even worth that much to me. I'd rather buy it for $33 free shipping. I feel like I'm getting gouged. Why can't you give me a better deal on the shipping? And so definitely, I would rather tie that in all together with free shipping than to do something with $3 with a $30 shipping on top. That just doesn't make sense to me. FJ Treasure says, if it was that easy, everyone would be doing it, finding the replenishables that are in high demand. And you're right. That's why I don't have them, because in my area, I just haven't found the right sourcing to, allow me to get that replenishable. I may find a lot that might be, have 20, 30 of one item. Once they run out, that's it. Joe Toledo, at the end of the day, it's all about the items. We can argue over promoted, but again, it's all about the items. That's right. So, if you have items that are in demand versus not, then you're going to make more sales. I get a lot of people that have emailed me and asked me to look at the store. I look at their store. Their listings are fundamentally sound. What I've noticed is right now, at least I think what's been going on right now, at least over the last few months and maybe even the last year, is a lot of buyers or a lot of sales are more towards those need items versus like to have or want items. And of course, people are still going to buy the want items, but I think that those customers are the customer pool is shrinking, and you're always going to have people looking for the things that they need on a daily basis. Can you give us an idea what your annual shipping supply cost is? Do you use Uline? No, I use, I go on and I get poly bags. I get different size poly bags. I probably spend about $20 to $25 per 100 poly bags, various sizes. Bubble wrap, I spend $85 per shipment for about 1,400 square feet of bubble wrap. And that's through American Bubble Boy. Online. They ship it to you in a couple days. It's not a commercial for them. It's just what I do. And, I utilize the coupons that eBay sends for those who have stores for some of the boxes. So I may spend every quarter about, 40, $50 on eBay branded boxes, spend about 40, $50 on a 36 pack of clear tape. I'll also buy some of the eBay branded tape. And that's pretty much, as far as shipping supplies, what I spend. Tommy says that he uses the trending plus 3.9%. It works out to be 8.8 to 9%. $900 spent, $12K in promoted sales the last 30 days. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Now, are you selling a lot of replenishables? I think that's important to know. Or do you sell pretty much everything like you see behind me? Dan Frisco says, suggestion, promote highly competitive categories with newer mass-produced items, vintage, rare, unique, hard to find. Promoting is a waste. And I think that's correct on that. 100% items are most important, right? Because if you have that third-party knockoff brand that no one's looking for compared to, let's say, your Nike or Adidas, you're going to find that you're not going to sell as much. That's for sure. Let's see. How much time, Taylor's Place says, how much time do you average finding a pallet using the 40-40 method? I spent some time on B stock and found that it's not a 10-minute process. It's not. I make that video for you to make it simple, but if you're doing it right, you're going to strike out more than you're going to succeed when you're looking for liquidation with that method. If you find an item that is in that pallet or items in that pallet that really are going to work for you, like for instance, found a couple lots where I can sell the item for more than the brick and mortar store that's liquidating it can sell it for, and that's in an open box condition. You're going to jack that up. I jacked it up to 50-50, right? But with liquidation, you never know what you're going to get. So 20 to 25% of that stuff is going to be just trash or not sellable. So you have to figure all that in. And I think the 40-40 method does that. And it's about weeding out the bad lots. So I think that's what the 40-40 does. There's a lot of people who buy some of these lots and I just shake my head. I wonder how they're making money. And maybe they're new buyers and they don't know any better. So continue to use something, whether it's my method or someone else's method, but it's going into sourcing, like Tommy was talking about, having a plan, going into sourcing with a plan, saying, I'm going to keep myself at 16% of MSRP is kind of what 40-40 boils down to. And if you can get lower than 16% on that lot, then you're doing even better. What do you think of Daily Refinement slowly becoming an everything store? I didn't know he was. I thought he was still focused on clothing and shoes and all that. But, I watch him a lot, get information. Like I'm always learning, or at least trying to learn. But of course, I can't compare what I do to what he does. He has contractors and things like that. So I know before he was a niche store with clothing, before all that, he was doing a lot of everything like yard sales and things like that. He was learning processes that work for him. And, I don't know why he would branch out and change and add more, because he's always been talking about focusing your scope from everything to a few things to one thing if you can. So that would sort of go against what he's been sort of talking about lately. Ricardo says, any chance of eBay launching any ads during the Super Bowl? I hope, but I don't think so. Anytime they advertise, it's mutually beneficial. It helps the seller. It helps eBay because more sales means more money in their pocket. But maybe when they run out of things to fee us on, then they'll go back to trying to increase their sales. I don't know. Winter Crow says, promoted may work for people who sell similar to other people, manufactured clothing, electronics, not for antiques. And I think we all feel the same way when it comes to antiques, vintage, collectibles. You really maybe only want to utilize that as a last resort. And that's if that item has high competition. There's some collectibles that have high competition out there, like baseball cards and things like that. Tommy says it's very easy. In 1 minute, we can search an item and see where you can land in search results. That tells us what to look at in fixing it. Okay. And then we have LSGS Rob just got in here, have 2,700 listings or items, listing 20 a day, have 19 million impressions with just over 1,300 sold, 59,000 page views. I only sell clothing and I've consistently listed for a year now. Well, I think you're also in a saturated market with clothing, and that's always going to be a challenge, is getting those sales numbers up. And, you're doing the right thing in that type of item, getting your number of listings, increasing the size of your store, and that's going to help bring that number up. But like hard goods, electronics, things that sell fast, for me, there's not necessarily a need to do that to scale up like that. Justin Ashley, the recommended price absolutely sliding scale, sold back-to-back records, almost identical, same class. One sold a 7.5% promoted, the other 4.5% promoted within an hour of each other. And that's interesting. My sales have been slower, but it's also to be expected, especially with everything going on in this time of year. To stay consistent, keep listing, keep moving forward, and you will prevail. Yeah, and I may make these videos. I may sound like I'm complaining, you know, and many of you out there are like, well, you know, if you spend more time listing than complaining, you might get more sales. And you're right, but it's not a complaint. This is me sharing my experiences with you guys. You know, if it comes off as a complaint, I'm sorry, but I know that that resonates with a lot of you as far as slow sales. And so this discussion, these discussions, this live stream is very important because it gives everyone out here and myself some ideas on how we can proceed. You know, we're talking with folks like Tommy and others that have taken the time to share their time with us today, and they're sharing some thoughts and some ideas that we can hopefully learn from. And if it helps one or two sellers out there do a little bit better with just some of these ideas that we're sharing, then this whole thing was worth it. Monster Loon, you can get eBay to bring horses to water, but no one can make them drink, right? So, you know, and then they eBay brings the customer to your listing. What are you doing to your listing through your photos, through your title, through your description? What are you doing to make that customer stay on your page and hit that buy button instead of going off to the next person? So that's the key right there. Tommy says, I only started focusing on shoes just over 2 months ago. I was struggling to stay at 100% sell through until I switched to only shoes. Also, I typed that wrong. 800 sold on eBay over the last 90. Yeah. And that's the report that eBay gives us. For me, it's about 620, selling a little of everything. And I know for me, that's low. You know, I pumped it up to 700. Now that's only with the 450 item store. I think my store is up over 500 at some point last year, but my sales were outpacing my my listings, and that's nice. But you know, that's on me. I should never have a situation where I'm dealing with more sales than listings. I should be getting my listings, more listings up when I can, and finding ways to utilize my time a little bit better, like maybe stop already with getting all the recommended item specifics filled in, and maybe not place an importance on that. That's probably going to help me quite a bit. LSGS Rob, I created a phase out program where mark down and promote my listings over a 6-month period, all the way up to 65% off and a 15 promoted rate. And if you can source to where that's still going to make you money, then that's awesome. That's awesome. The Outlaw Hustler, I have noticed if you list X number of items each day consistently, eBay will grant you that number of sales. My promoted percentage changes each item I list. Coupons also boost sales. And I'm a big believer of that 5% public coupon. Now you can make it higher than that if you want, but that, you know, we're talking about what can you do to keep people on your listing rather than, okay, eBay's attracted them with, you know, page views and impressions. Now they're on your listing. What's going to keep them there? And I think that's one way to do that. Having that coupon that they can instantly add and save more money to the price they already were looking at. I think that helps. Jason Neal went from 20% sale to 15% sale using the 5% to play with promoted. Still costs the same here. So yeah, so you up your price a little bit and then up your promoted amount. I believe that's what you're saying. Let's see here. Do you give, Josh, how do you give auto feedback or give feedback manually right away, or if they give you feedback? My store is the basic store, and they removed that feature. I think you have to have the 3rd level store. Correct me if I'm wrong, to have the feature where it automatically gives the feedback. So I go in afterwards. I see that they've left the feedback. I go in and put a positive for them. It's just extra work. I'd like to have that feature with the basic store. I know that that's been removed. I've heard there's very negative things about B stock. Move with caution there. So you have B stock. There's 2 different levels of B stock. There's the B stock where there's the third-party liquidators like you and I can go in there and make a listing and say, I got this lot of, or this pallet of whatever. And then there's the the corporate side where you have Costco, Sam's Club, Amazon, Walmart, and those are where you want to focus your time. Do not focus on the third party liquidators, because I bought 2 pallets back in 2019 and were burned twice. And that was the end of it for me. I didn't find anything. I lost money on both of those. They dress them up. They put a couple like iPads on the top of the Gaylord, and a bunch of random cell phone cases and stuff underneath all the good stuff. And it's not a true mix. It's very, and I can understand why a seller would want to put their best items in a lot on top, but it's very deceiving. And I learned the hard way. Tommy says, I sell everything, but trying to transition to only shoes. They're always a big piece of the pie, but it's helped numbers drastically focusing on them. And I get shoes like, got a couple pairs of Merrells that were in new condition in these last 2 lots. But I just generally don't focus on them. In fact, when I started this full time, because I really didn't have a choice. It's not like I quit my job to sell. It was that they shut down my office, and we had the choice of moving back east or taking a severance package and just, doing this on our own. So I started doing watch Hustler Hacks, and I think he's still out there with shoes. And, go to Marshall's, go to Ross, and, all the other stores. And I tried doing that, and I watched and tried to emulate exactly what he did. And it just didn't work well for me. Maybe I didn't scale enough. Maybe I gave up on it too soon. But I then started getting into liquidation, and that sort of worked well for me. And I like shoes. Don't get me wrong. I'd rather sell shoes than clothing. I think there's a larger market on eBay, and eBay's been promoting like sneakers and stuff. I think there's a larger market on eBay, a less saturated market on eBay, let me say, than for sellers than clothing. Michelle Trout says, congrats. Thank you. Let's see. Tommy says he changes his business model more than his underwear. It's all about churning viewers for money. And I think you might be talking about Daily Refinement, because he does change a lot. I mean, I guess that fits his name, right? Daily Refinement. But you know what? I commend him for, getting out there. Once you have over 50,000 subs, maybe 100,000, you start transitioning more into being a YouTuber than an actual reseller on eBay, because you're starting to make quite a bit of money, from what I understand. Make me wonder if Daily isn't doing as well as selling clothes. I think it's just about, how do you make your money? How do you make, the amount of money that you've been making? And if sales drop off, then you're looking at other ways to introduce more revenue. Let's see here. Rob LSGS Rob, true that. I used to selling electronics only and absolutely loved it because of the super quick sell through. Just got really sick of the fraud, and every category has their own issues, right? And I'm a gadget guy. I love electronics. There's something about buying stuff that interests you and to resell. There's just something about it. Maybe you can speak to it a little bit better. Maybe you can. Right now, if I was to go buy clothing, I can't tell you the different necks from one neck to another. I know a turtleneck from a V-neck, but that's about it. But I can tell you a lot about electronics. And I think that makes it easier when you're sourcing to really have a grasp on the type of item you're selling. And if you can find that one item that you enjoy, that's what I would sell. Livestream can help with venting too. We all need to do that sometimes. Yeah, we do. And hopefully I'm not coming off as venting. Certainly not. I really don't have a reason to vent. I just like to share my experiences with you guys. Let's see. I'm still confused to having an everything store or niche down in what I would want a pet store. So I guess a lot of it comes down to sourcing. You don't even have to if you find a good source of pet items, go for it. There is a market on eBay for that kind of thing. I generally have 1 day a week sales drop. Being around tech my whole life, sure they have to take servers down for maintenance weekly like everyone else. They do. Let's see. Trying to get through this here. You guys have a lot of good information. Shanna, maybe everything D-store first to get sales on money and gradually phase into your ideal store. And the key is just to start. If you have a lot of items that are sitting around, that just everything, get it sold, get it listed. And that means that you're going to take that money and focus on lots that are specific to the kind of item you're looking to sell, then do that. But get started and get your stuff up. The premium store has an automated feedback. When a buyer leaves me feedback, I give it back. When I buy, I leave feedback first when the seller does not beat me to it. And then Ed says, I like that some people are disgusted to sell you shoes, less competition. You guys see that pair of shoes that I got in that box about 2 weeks ago? Looked like they were in the mud. They're stepping around in the mud. Maybe they ruined their shoes and they decided they were going to buy a new pair and ship the old dirty pair back. And that's what we got. Those went straight into the trash can. Dan Frisco says, yes, be careful with the large YouTubers. They start to change focus to coming up with different video ideas and less on what they sell on eBay. Right, exactly. As for daily refinement, he makes the majority of his money on his Patreon. If you do the math, even 30% of his followers have the $35 a month subscription. He's making over 25, but he's splitting that also with tech and a couple others that also help run that. I agree with this. Sell what you love, certainly. As for coupons, I issue 25% coupon good for 30 days of those buyers who leave feedback. I do for others at 5%. No, John, I would love those to resell. Oh, yeah, those, are you talking about those dirty shoes that I had? And if you look at Daily Refinement Store, he hasn't listed any items in almost a week after he was saying that is his goal listing. But I don't know. He hides a lot of his, like for instance, he hides a lot of his sales. I haven't looked at his store in a long time. And I believe he has that second store too. So maybe he's focusing his energy on the other store. I would not want to automate feedback. I wouldn't want to automate positive before the item gets delivered, only to find the buyer to cause trouble. And Dan says, do you love the liquidation items you sell? The ones that I showed on camera, not really. No. Some of them, like the Legos, are cool. I know those sell really well. Some of the electronics that I come across, I definitely like a lot. But the other stuff, no, not really. But it's what I'm able to source right now. See, it's just not like I'm passing up opportunities to sell this stuff. I really did these unboxings. I wasn't going to buy any more of those boxes of mystery boxes, but I wanted to do that for you guys. I know I've been getting a lot of requests to do these unboxings, and I would rather unbox some of the stuff that I like to buy and sell. Get a lot of appliances, the small appliances we like to deal with, or at least I do. Jenna, not so much. And some of these electronics lots sort of intrigue me. Get a lot of really interesting stuff, and I'm sitting on a lot of interesting stuff that I have to get through as well. But yeah, it just depends on the lot. I just need to find that right source. Anyone wants to send me an email at flippingainteasy2020@gmail.com and want to share the source of where I can find some good electronics lots in the Vegas area, hit me up. But that's the problem. I learned my lesson as a YouTuber that I can't give all my sources out, because then those sources will dry up, and then my eBay business suffers. And I think that posting that B stock Costco video about a year ago really made it difficult for me to, even if it increased 3 or 4 or 5 people who were bidding for the same lot, it made it more difficult for me to buy the electronic slots. So yeah, Ed says the dirty shoes and the tortillas. Yeah, glad you guys like that. Some of these tortillas, man, they get pretty big. So it's pretty funny. Wholesale Ninja, no, I haven't. I almost did as a test, but I did some reviews on YouTube, just pulling up people who've done reviews, small channels, And some of these items are just, um, I don't think you'd have to lot a lot of them out. I just don't see, you have Lindy Glenn. She was doing a lot of that wholesale ninja stuff. Um, she wasn't making a whole, if you looked at her videos, she wasn't making a whole lot on that store. I think she was making more money as a YouTuber than an eBay seller. That's for sure. Um, these mystery boxes came from a local vendor out here that I have in Vegas, and they are Amazon mystery boxes, but I definitely know they've been gone through before they even get to me. Maybe the stuff this person didn't want to deal with. They left some good stuff in those new 2 pairs of Merrill shoes were really nice. So I just think they're looking for the home runs. You're never going to find an Xbox or a PlayStation, iPads, iPhones, things like that. I think those get pulled out, and I think that particular vendor just probably lists them on his or her own. And I can't imagine the work you put in with unboxing, cleaning, testing, taking photos, and listing. It is. That's why I don't get a whole lot of listings done. But I'm not going to I see a lot of my competitors out there, and they're listing a lot of the same items. I know they're getting a lot of the same stuff from similar vendors, and a lot of them turn out to be in Vegas as well. And the way they list them, it's like that's a return waiting to happen. You check out their negative feedback, they have maybe a dozen a month. They're still selling on eBay, I guess. But for me, it's just not the way I want to do business. I want to clean, inspect, make sure my buyer knows everything that's wrong with the item before I list it. What is the cost of shipping and liquidation? I know you said you pick up to save on the shipping prices. Well, the cost of shipping like a pallet from one side of the country to Vegas would be about, say, $500 to $700 if I'm being conservative. And that's the last time I bought something. It might have gone up since then. And that's just like a standard 400-pound pallet of merchandise. Tommy says, let's use some logic. Anything you can find on Google to flip. So can every other person with Google? Yes. But check out the liquidation maps if you are looking for a liquidator in your particular area. And that should at least give you a starting point. Reach out, see if they'll allow you to go in and look at their pallets. If they're not willing to let you look at their pallets, if they're just wanting to deliver it to you, then that's probably not the best way to do business. I definitely want to go in and see some of the pallets that they're selling before I do business with any of those folks. So I am trying to get this file, and I think I'm able to find it. So let me go ahead and wrap up the show, and I'm going to try to get you guys a video here. If you can bear with me a second to show the winners. Bear with me a second here. Okay, so this is uploading. I will talk to you guys a little bit more. If a YouTuber is promoting a company run, I agree, because they're getting something out of it. I've had some companies hit me up and want to do marketing, and it wasn't anywhere related to the kind of uh, kind of topic that my viewers would want to buy. Let me just put it that way. So it just makes no sense. And, for me, this channel is not about money. Yes, of course, over 1,000 views or 1,000 subscribers, you're going to start making money with these videos. And, it allows me to buy cool little toys that I can use to make better quality videos and stuff. And I'm sure as this channel grows, it'll be just another revenue stream. But I'm going to try to stay true to who I am. And that's kind of, I guess, what I hope separates this show from a lot of the other larger channels. And yes, they are working for affiliate links and that kind of thing. Justin Ashley says, anyone trust the local pallet sellers listing on Marketplace? Again, I've checked out some in Marketplace local to Vegas, the Vegas area. And I was able to go in and check them out. And, a lot of these local ones, they have a lot of the third party, the knockoff brands, and not to say those won't sell, but, you can then take a look at the pallet, plug in, whatever this item is on eBay, see your comps and find out if, you know, that $300 pallet can at least make you 2-3 times your money. And I wouldn't go anything less than 2 to 3 times your money, and 2 being very conservative. You want to make at least 3 times your money if you can. So let me go ahead and see if I can launch this video here. It's about less than 5 minutes, because that's why I had to trim it down. We are going to announce the winners of the 10,000 subscriber contest that we have. It's not a YouTube at all. I have to say this, not a YouTube promotion or giveaway. This is totally on me. It's the eBay items that I've accumulated over the last 6 months that I saved for this very reason. And the final prize will be a $100 Amazon or eBay gift card. And you guys will need, if you happen to win, you'll need to email me at flippinainteasy2020@gmail.com, and I will put that out here so that you guys will see here. flippinainteasy2020@gmail.com. If you win, you want to send that out, an email out to me, so I can mail these items to you. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and draw the winners right now. We have a total of 5 eBay prizes plus the grand prize, which is a $100 gift card. And again, as I mentioned in the last live video, all you had to do was type in Flippin' Ain't Easy 2022, exactly how I laid it out. And I'm using a generator, comment generator from TubeBuddy, and I utilize them as a tool when I do my eBay videos. And so I'm going to type in the exact wording that I wanted you to type in. Flippin' Ain't Easy 2022. And we're going to pick a winner for each of the prizes. So the first prize, we're going to give this salt container. It's an eBay branded bamboo salt container. And let me go ahead and give that away. I'm going to click on pick a winner. And the winner is Wanda Greer. So Wanda, send me an email at flippinainteasy2020@gmail.com, and we will go ahead and get this mailed out to you. Congratulations on that. The second prize we're going to give away is this eBay branded, now maybe you can see it or you can't, but it has a water bottle, sports bag, two-tone sunglasses, and bottle opener spinner. And let's go ahead and pick that winner. And the winner is Alan Nelson. So thank you for typing in Flippin' Ain't Easy 2022 and being subscribed and part of the live stream. Go ahead and email me at flippinainteasy2020@gmail.com, and we'll get that out to you. The next prize is, this is an eBay cheese cutting board kit. And it has the cutting board, it has little knives. Kind of a cool little prize. So not opening it all up. This is like brand new inside, everything from eBay. And I get these from eBay when we attend the seller conferences. Bear with me. So we're going to go ahead and get that out to the next person, who is Austin. So he had a lot to say, as you can see, but he typed in Flippin' Ain't Easy 2022, and he is a winner. So Austin, send me an email, flippinainteasy2020@gmail.com, and I'll mail that out to you. 2 more prizes. We have an eBay beach towel. I got this during the summer. Of course, these are all new. Never used it. I put it aside for you guys for this very moment. And the winner of the beach towel is Christina Otvos. So Christina, please send me an email at flippinainteasy2020@gmail.com, and we'll get that out to you. And sorry about that. The last prize, before we get to the main prize, is this nice gift box. and it has eBay branded tumblers. And maybe you can see that, maybe you can't. Nice little gift prize. And we're going to give this out to Steve Baker. So Steve, send me an email, flippingainteasy2020@gmail.com, and we'll get that right out to you. And for the grand prize, $100 gift card for Amazon or eBay, you get to choose. And I know some of you like Amazon, some of you like eBay. But what I'd like to do is just send you a digital gift card through email. So you'll have to email me like with the other prizes. And our winner is, for the $100 gift card, ACDC for life. And go ahead, ACDC for life. Send me an email at flippingainteasy2020@gmail.com. And I'll work on getting whatever choice you want, whether it's eBay or Amazon. And that way you can get taken care of. All right. So those are our winners. So congratulations to all the winners. Again, my email address is on the screen. And please reach out to me. I'd like to get these out to you as soon as possible. So that sort of wraps up this video. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for being part of this 10,000 subscriber experience. My goal is to be at 20 to 25 by the end of the year, and share these videos with people you know that are resellers. Again, I rely on you guys to make these videos and these live streams a success. And honestly, we had a good discussion today, a lot about promoted listings, but these are all ideas that we can share and try to utilize into our own stores and maybe try to increase our slow sales. And thank you to Tommy Bernhard Podcast. Go ahead and check out his channel. Ed, the Reselling Writer, check out his channel as well. These are all a lot of good information that's been shared today. So give it a shot. Post down below some of your thoughts if you have any to share. But this mystery of eBay, it's just yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. And I want you guys to have a great rest of your weekend, and we will talk to you very soon.